everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I thought I would do the second part of my Q&A because I wanted to try and answer as many questions as possible, and I was doing some filming for something else anyway, so why waste a good face of makeup because I don't normally look like this. So I'm just gonna crack on and pick up where I left off. So the first question I've got here is, what is your favourite quote? And right, I'm big into words, so I have quite a few of these, and I've actually got quite a few dotted around my house. Like I've got one just over there that says create what you want to see in the world. Then there's another one that says do what you love, and this is all like, this is where I work, like my desk is just there, so that's all like work centric. But in terms of life, there's one that I really like, and it's about bitchiness, and it's such an old like saying, and I've heard this ever since I was a child, but what Susie says of Sally says far more of Susie than of Sally. And basically it just means that if someone's bitching about other people all the time, that says far more about them and the kind of person that they are instead of the person that they are trying to bring down. And I really live by that. I don't like to bitch. I'm not comfortable with bitching. Don't get me wrong, people piss me off sometimes, but I really try my hardest to be nice to everybody equally. While I'm not particularly religious, at least not anymore, there's one quote from Les Mis, and it goes, and remember the truth that once was spoken, to love another person is to see the face of God. And for me, it kind of sums up what love is, to see something so magical that you would never experience it otherwise. I think that's what it says to me. Next question is, what do you do to get a bit of me time? I'm one of those people that's a bit of a busybody, so I'm not very good at relaxing at all. I prefer to be like doing something productive. But if I do relax, I either read a book, and I have a huge stack of books. I've actually made another order on Amazon recently because we're going on holiday soon and I want to take some with me. It might be wishful thinking, but it's always nice to have a pile of books around anyway. And I also like to watch like YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube on my phone. So the next one from Sancho Jack 87 says, I would love to know how old Daisy was when you and Mark both first left her. I have only left my almost 12-week-old daughter with her dad, and I'm so worried about us both leaving her. The first time I did that, me and Mark actually went out to our work Christmas do, because we used to work in the same office together, and I'd handed in my notice by that point, but I was still invited, which was so lovely. And it was just before Christmas, obviously, so Daisy will have been about 7 months old. I think honestly, if she hadn't have been poorly, we probably would have left her overnight with my mum and dad, which is who she was with, and Bill, sooner, because it's nice to have date nights and take advantage of like having friends and family nearby. But that was like kind of the first opportunity that presents itself. But there's no time limit. You've got to do it when it feels right for you, and don't worry, because whoever you leave them with, like, you wouldn't let that person have your child on your own anyway unless you really trusted them. So put that trust in them and go out and have fun. Lisa C. Dixon, and Lisa is someone that always pops up. She's a lovely lady. I really do think she's amazing, and she's asked, are you still affected by your syndrome now? And she says, sorry if that sounded off, I mean, does it have lifelong symptoms? I don't feel affected by my syndrome now, but to be honest with you, because it's been something that I've obviously had since birth, I don't know any different. So my normal may be very different from your normal. I was diagnosed with premature arthritis when I was about 7 years old, I think, possibly even younger. And I do have joint problems. It was one of the biggest reasons that sort of prompted me to start losing weight again, was because I could feel the pressure on my knees in particularly. And I'm sure that it's going to get worse over time, and I didn't want to tempt fate with that and make it worse sooner than it needed to be. My hearing is probably the biggest thing now, and I have had my referral letter through this week, which is nerve-wracking. I've got it and I need to ring the hospital, but again, like, I keep plucking up the courage, so I'm going to do that this week and probably give them a ring tomorrow and sort all of that out. But everything else is fine. I guess the biggest effect of having a syndrome like mine is that I passed it on to my daughter, and the toughest times when it comes to having Stickler Syndrome are usually in that first like few years, or the first year in particular. But it's behind us now, so let's hope and keep our fingers crossed that nothing happens in the future that will bring back more guilt for me, because if it happens to me it's likely to happen to Daisy, and I really don't want that, because I would never ever wish anything on my little girl. It's Jules Furness. Hi Jules. It says, if one of the kids wants to be a blogger or a vlogger one day, what advice would you give them? I would say go for it, because I can't, you know, I've got to lead with it by example. Like, I can't tell them they're not allowed to do something. But I would just say stay true to yourself. And I love that, like, saying be yourself because everybody else is taken, because it's true. Like, no one else out there can be exactly like me. No one else is going to be able to tell my story the way I tell it. You know, we can share experiences and we can have similarities, but only you can do you, and that is what I would say to them. Don't focus on the numbers. By all means celebrate your achievements, because I got to 10,000 subscribers yesterday and I am still on cloud 9. Mark bought me a bunch of flowers, which are just behind you, behind the camera, and I'm over the moon, and that does matter. But what actually matters more than anything else is that you're happy and you're doing something that you love, and you can't buy that, so make the most of it. And Jules' second question is, who is your idol aside from family? I don't know actually, because as a person I do idolise my family very much. It's quite a tough question. I always used to love a lot of professional singers within the musical theatre sector. I love Leah Salonga, for example, and Colm Wilkinson, just because that was the path I thought I was going to go down. I thought one day I would do musical theatre as well, and I never did, because I didn't pluck up the courage to do it, and I do miss singing a lot. I thought Eva Cassidy was amazing for making the music that she made, and even though she passed away, her voice has left a legacy behind her. And I'm just a big fan of like strong women doing what they do and owning it. It doesn't matter whether or not they have like the loudest voice where things like feminism are concerned. I enjoy women like Beyonce, of course I do, because she's bloody beautiful. She's got a voice like an angel, and she does what she does, and she does her, and I love that about her. I don't look for idols in typical places. I think I find idols in so many people around me, whether or not they are friends or family, fellow YouTubers, just people that have use their voice and their talents to do good, make other people happy, make other people smile, do the right thing. That is what really impresses me, and that is what I strive for too as a person. Megan Charlie says, in hindsight, would you have made the age gap closer between Bill and Daisy, or do you think their ages are perfect? I had my little boy a few days after you had Daisy, and we're trying to work out when would be the best time for number 2. So Megan, I really like my age gap between Bill and Daisy. There's almost 4 years. I think it's something like 3 years, 10 months, along those lines. When I was pregnant, I did worry, and I worried because obviously I couldn't have really had a baby any sooner, because me and Mark got together when Bill was about 18 months old, and there was a lot of things that had to happen before we were ready as a couple to have a baby of our own. So when we did try to conceive, it did happen for us quite quickly, and that was kind of like the soonest we could have had a baby, really. I did worry because they are quite a difference apart. Like, he's at school, she's at home. He's a boy, she's a girl. They both have different fathers, which is something I never ever imagined I would say about my children, but it's true. And I worried about all of these things, but what I've realised is that you can't get in the way of love, and you can't get in the way of that bond. Like, Bill has been brilliant. He's, you know, he's potty trained. He can help me around the house. He can pick Daisy up and move her out of the way of harm's way if he wants to. He fetches things for himself, and it is very useful, the age gap that we've got. That said, when we have a third, I think that I would like the age gap to be slightly smaller, only because I am 29. I'll be 30 next January, and I want to be done before I get, you know, further into my 30s, and that's just for me personally. I want to finish our family and then spend my 30s enjoying them, and I want to stay a relatively youngish mother as well. I had my first at 23. Well, I was pregnant at 23, I had him at 24, and then my third I would like to have when I'm 30 or 31 really, and then I don't feel like the gap is so like big then, like from 23 to 31 I've been having babies, like I don't really want that to be any bigger, if that makes sense. Fact of the matter is that whatever you decide will be right for you and your family. Rachel Lucas, hi Rachel. She says, I'd like to know if you've got any plans to write a book. Rachel, that is my life dream. I've said it for as long as I can remember, but I just don't know if I've got the confidence. I don't know how to start it. I don't know if people would read it. I don't know how to go about getting it published. I don't know if I could handle the failure of not getting published. So maybe one day I will. My mum will watch this and go, yes, bloody write a book. But I don't know. If you want me to write a book, let me know. Give this video a thumbs up if you think I should write a book. But I don't know, maybe one day. That's my answer. Heavy19 says, I'd like to know how you deal with any negative people on your blogs and vlogs. Really interested in vlogging but low in confidence. I love your channel, by the way. You're one of my biggest inspirations. Oh, bless you. I don't always deal with it very well. Sometimes it makes me cry and I get really, really upset. Sometimes it actually makes me want to delete everything and take it off. But then I realise that if I do that, then that person's won. And again, going back to my favourite quote, what Susie says of Sally says far more of Susie than of Sally. I'm out there working really, really hard to support my family and make a dream come true and make people happy, hopefully, in the process as well. Like, I hope you enjoy these videos. I'm not out there dragging other people down. I'm not out there making other people feel bad about their lives and putting them down. That's not what I'm about. So as far as I'm concerned, while I'm flawed and while I'm not perfect, I am most certainly not in the wrong. So Thornham54 has quite a few questions, but she says hi and she would like to know about my TTC Daisy journey, so how long I was trying to conceive with Daisy and with Bill and how long it took and things like that. Bill was my surprise baby. I wasn't planning for a baby age 23, but the second I knew I was pregnant, I knew that I was going to be a mum and I would do anything for that baby. And even though it was unexpected and it completely changed my life and put a lot of my plans for myself in the bin, I wouldn't have it any other way. Daisy, I have put our TTC journey in a video somewhere. If you want to find out more, I will leave that video down below. Next question, in fact there's a few of these, is where is the pink skin from, well, on your MacBook from? And this is from a store called Coconut Lane. It's actually a sticker type one and it's blinking beautiful, isn't it? I don't blame you for asking that, so there you go. I'll put the link down below for you. So this is the last question and I'll try and put the final ones in a third version of the Q&A, but I don't want it to be too self-indulgent, so let me know in the comments below if you would like to see a third like installment and I will do it, and if you don't then that's fine too. But this last one is from Rebecca Bonner. Is it Bonner or Bonner? I'm not sure. I'm sorry, Rebecca. Well, she's got 3 questions. 1, what is your wildest dream? 2, succeed at blogging to the point where I can finish doing up my house, send my kids off to school, afford to make a 3rd bedroom, no, 4th bedroom for our 3rd baby, and be able to live comfortably. I don't need much. That's it, and just to be happy and successful and in love. Second one was, what is your biggest hope for Bill and Daisy? And I just hope that they find what I have. I hope they find someone that loves them just as much as Mark makes me feel loved and like I love him, because this is all I've ever wanted in life and I think that is really the ultimate aim. And final question is, what do you love most about being a mum? I just love being able to look at these 2 tiny faces and just feel like I'm looking at the whole world. Every single day I get to be with these two amazing human beings who are growing up so quickly in front of my eyes, who aren't perfect at all, but they are so perfect to me. And I just can't believe that I get to love them as hard as I do. I can't believe that I got blessed with two wonderful children, and being a mum, while hard, is hands down the best thing I've ever done, and they are my biggest achievements and creations in my life, and I think they always will be. So yeah, that is the end of this Q&A. It's probably quite a long one. I'll try and cut it down. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'm aware that I've said like, oh, thumbs up for this and thumbs up for that, so I'm just going to take it that if I get a few thumbs up I should do everything that I've said. But yeah, thank you so much for your questions. It was really nice sort of like answering your curiosities and stuff, and I feel like we've had more of a conversation this time around. I hope you do too. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely day, and I will see you next time. Bye.